Hey guys, this is the general reading for Taurus for July 2019. It'll include the energies also from the end of June 2019, but also July 2019. It's for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you have significant Venus in your chart, if you're just cross-watching, if you're drawn to this video, for more of a complete picture, or if this doesn't resonate with you, check out my other videos that I either have already or that I will be making that are of your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Any that you're drawn to, significant placements in your chart and all of that. This energy is fluid, so this could have already happened. It could be happening now. It could happen in the future. I could read this as you. It could be someone else. I could read this as love. It could be career. So apply it to your life as necessary. Don't make it fit if it doesn't. Some, none, or all of it may apply. Just take what fits and leave the rest. Thank you so much for those of you who have also inquired about and participated in donations to the channel. That is so much appreciated and means so much to me for various reasons, which I'll get to, but just for wanting to reciprocate the energy if it really helped you out and to support the channel and it growing and my mission and everything. So thank you so much. For those of you who are interested, the information is in the description box below, my PayPal information, my email information, all of that. Also, if you're interested in services, I have different types of services, whether it be a reading, energy sessions, Holy Fire Reiki. I'll be starting to teach classes soon and all of that. Everything's in the description box below. So please look through it all, including the description. Please read it all instead of just email me. A lot of people just get to my email and then they email me. I'm always down to help somebody, but it'll save me time. So read it, and then if you still have questions, email me. But it's all in the description box below. But all this really helps me because, especially like, share, comment, subscribe. So thank you for those of you who have. So those you haven't, please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. I put out different types of video, but it really helps me a lot because whether it's stuff from the channel, whether it's stuff through services, donations, almost all of that money goes towards me furthering helping heal myself. I know I say this through everyone, but just fast forward it if you've heard the spiel. But I use it to further heal myself. And I take that in turn, and then I give back and help others because a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff right now. So I got up to my master in Reiki, Holy Fire Reiki, so I'll be getting to teach classes on that. In 2020, if everything works out according to plan, I'll be going and learning plant spirit medicine, and then I'm halfway through my shamanic training. All of that, which I can also do distant-wise, and then use to give back to help heal others. So thank you so much for that. I think that's it for right now. If I think of anything else, I'll say it during the video. But so Taurus, we're again at a very powerful energy here, and it's very, just from what I'm perceiving it as, very optimistic, very confident, very powerful. It's exciting again. It's almost like in alignment and just being focused and knowing where to go, feeling like you know where to go again. So in the center of the reading, I'm not sure if some of you too, it just kind of came up for me and I feel like I should say it because right when I started having like indigestion and like stomach issues or digestion issues or gastro issues. So I don't know if some of you are, and I don't know if that's something that there's like a shift in your solar plexus going on as far as like maybe it's balancing out and clearing out, or it needs to be. But I had no indication of that. As soon as I started talking, it just was like choking me up. So, but in the center of your reading, you have the Seven of Pentacles. So I think you're really thinking about and analyzing some stuff. You're obviously being very patient. I mean, a lot of Tauruses have been being very patient. I really get a start, a new start going forward. And you may be patiently waiting on that, or really analyzing which way you want to go. Or even so, like what just came into my mind was you want to start to go in the direction that's now going to reap you some rewards. Like literally where you can harvest. Almost like what direction is that? I think you're going to go in the direction that is. And what's crossing you, yeah, so I think this is going off. See, like the Knight of Wands, I think this is you, like going in that direction. A new direction, basically. Making you feel like right again, or like home again. Not where everything has to be the same or like the old you, but almost like Taurus is ready to stop bucking the change. Like stop resisting. And you're like, if you look, like she's on this horse. I like that this knight is a female, but like she's going on this path. I don't know if you can see it, but it says village here. And she's going on this path, and it's to the sun that is halfway up from rising, which is funny because that's what's in your crowning, your thoughts. So I'll show you when I get there. And I feel like you're being guided. Like if you look at this bird, this to me, it either really resonates with me or it's very spiritual. Probably both. But you have a lot of things about the sun here. So stuff could be illuminated, but I really get just really feeling that wholesome, warm, confident, whole, bright and sunny feeling again. Which I have to say, you have this sun, you have the sun over here, which there's a bird. And the sun is fully up. So I'll show you when I come to it. This one, it's halfway up and she's heading towards it. Again, a bird is guiding this. So you are being guided. It's very strong. Because, and there may be things you don't see about this, but I feel like, because I'm going to pull a clarifier on this. What's crossing it is the moon. Again, going to this path, towards it is the sun, the moon, but the sun's there too. And I think you're just kind of ready to go. Maybe you have the energy now and you're more in alignment, you're more in conviction of it, but it's not like you're resisting the moon. It's not like you're resisting that darkness, because I feel this energy where you've almost learned to be comfortable with it. You found your peace in it. You found you in it. You found for lack of better words, it wasn't so scary after all. Most of your fear, most of the pain, I'm not going to try to take away from the pain of it, but most of it, like looking back, you're like, that was me. Like, that was me who caused all that. I mean, yes, it could have been physical things, it could have been money, it could have been this and this, but most of the pain and suffering, if you went through any of that, was because of you. It was because of your reaction, and it had to be to break you out of that, to show you those sides of yourself. And like, you're okay being there. You don't have to run from it. But I don't get a thing of leaving it behind. I mean, maybe a little, but I get more of a, maybe it'll teach you, especially since you have the sun and the moon here. Maybe what's coming, or what you're learning, or what you have learned, is how to navigate between the two worlds, which, in case you didn't know, means that's an evolving Taurus. You know, I mean, our opposite is Scorpio, which is, you know, the underworld, the shadow, the moon. Like, to me, this is all the water signs. I mean, it's Cancer, it's Pisces, but it's also Scorpio to me, because Scorpio is all about the hidden, the unseen, the underworld, you know, secrets, you know, all that stuff. And you're either going to learn this or have learned this. And I really just don't, like I said, I don't get a running away vibe. Like, I mean, look at her. She's like slowly moseying back. And she's got like the thing on her head. She was like victorious. It's almost like that vibe of, you know, and nothing against religion. I'm just saying this to paint a picture, but religion is for people who are scared of hell. Spirituality is for people who have been to hell and they've made it back. And not only have they made it back, they came out like stronger and, you know, like the Phoenix, you know, stronger than ever. And that's the vibe I get from her, that you're almost like, okay, what now? It's not, and you know, like, you know, you have to keep it, and you're almost even accepting of that. You're like, because you found the benefit of it. You know, it's a place to go to when you need to see things, or when you have to have time away, or when there's something you need to know and your sight can't handle it. It's something you've got to go within to do and navigate the unseen of either what to do decision-wise or something even within yourself. It's a tool. It's a part of you. You're not going to run from it. You can't run from it. It's part of you. But so it is what's influencing you, this moon. But there is this pathway that now you're going towards it, but you can easily, and this is why also one of the reasons, besides Tauruses are very spiritual and people usually come to them for advice and everything and their beliefs, whatever. But it's also because Tauruses, especially when they are evolved, can navigate between worlds. And because Tauruses are physical manifestors, they can very easily navigate or travel to the spiritual realm. Sometimes they don't even know they're doing it. They can go to the spiritual realm, bring that down into the 3D physical world, or 4D, whatever we're heading to, and not only manifest of that, but teach that, because we're teachers. They rule the throat and or share creation wise to people and do it in a way where they can understand. They can they are the mergers of the spiritual and the physical, and they could bring it into the physical realm. And I think a lot of Tauruses are just kind of getting to that point where they're like, you know they can go back. They don't have to sit there. You don't have to just sit there and dwell and you're like, okay, I've learned what I need to learn right now. Let me go, in the sun for the little while. Let me go towards that. Let me go and manifest, create, teach, whatever my passion is. Let me go and do that. That which makes me happy. That which is in alignment. That which is abundant. That which is going to allow me to harvest. Let me go towards that. That's where your focus now is wanting to go towards, whether it's a job, whether it's a raise, whether it's money, whether it's creation. It's more physical though. It's more inspiration, because you have the wand, the Knight of Wands, and the physical. You want to go create now. You want to find or create in the physical realm. It's almost like, okay, enough for a minute of all this feels. The moon is very much about feelings, conscious, emotion, all that stuff. And you're like, yeah, that's great. But I just spent a couple years in that. And you learned and you grew and you evolved. And what can I do with this now? Like, how can I express this path that I just went through and express it into creation? Or if I don't have it, how can I make it so? Maybe some of you have realized, the art of law of attraction or the art of manifesting, or, well, if I can't have it, I'll make it. And you're just inspired. I mean, I can just feel this all in my stomach. And it is going up to it's mostly my throat and my stomach that I can feel this right now. It's like that gusto that it's like you're so excited and you want to go do something, but like your throat in the way of expression. And I almost get this vibe of like Tauruses are kind of come out of that, like where they're just in a hallway and it's dark and they're just bumping into the walls of the hallway and they're moving forward, they're doing it, but they don't really know where it's going or what they're doing. And it's like you're starting now to see the light at the end of the tunnel, or starting to see that doorway, or you have seen it and your hand's on it, on the door, or you've opened it, and you've already walked through. I feel like a lot of Tauruses, some are right at the door and they see it now. Some, their hand is on the door, and some of them, they're just, I know this is kind of a duh thing, but they've just opened it. Some might have gone to the other side already, but I think most have gotten up to just the point of just opening it. Because it depends on how you look at it. Either way, though, they haven't fully seen what's on the other side. But they're like, I'm going to create it. So if I had to put that to an analogy, it would be like, I'm going to choose to open this door, and then you open it. And I think a lot are in between my hands on the door to open it and the opening part. Meaning they know once they open that door, like they're ready now to create. They're like, I don't care what's on the other side. I don't care about controlling it. Jesus, I'm going to spend so much time just on these cards. I don't care about what's on the other side. I don't care about knowing it before I open it. I don't care about it because you know what? I'm going to create what's on the other side of that freaking door. I am. And if something pops up, oh well, I've learned a lot of lessons. We'll see what happens. I mean, could it be as bad as what I've just been through? I've learned a lot of tools. I've learned I'm really resilient. Hell, let's do it. I mean, I'm ready to create either way, and where I am right now or where you were, you couldn't. It was almost that sitting duck learning thing. And you want something different. And you're just sitting there like, I don't care what's on the other side. I'm just going to go create. And I feel like a lot of obstacles have been moved out of the way for Tauruses, because those obstacles were there to be like, whoa, like pulling back on the reins. No, Taurus. No. We need you to sit for a little while. You've got some learning to do. And we're like, now. And then finally we got it, and went through being pissed off, and then we kind of sulked in it for a while, and now it's like almost something's giving us the boot to where it's like, okay, time to get out of this now. You've learned enough to go and create enough to put all the stuff together you learned, stuff about yourself, to where now you can start to move forward and do it in a stronger way, and you at least have some type of idea to where you can go forward, build, and go towards whatever that looks like. And you don't fully know what it is. You don't fully know what's going to happen. But you know enough. And you'll be guided the rest of the way. You know that now. Look at this little bird. Oh, it's a hawk. I don't know. It's a guide and a messenger, though. And you'll be guided. If not, some of you are sitting here with the Seven of Pentacles, just sitting there still thinking about it, and what's crossing you is you don't know. Hopefully, a lot of you aren't, and if not, hopefully my positive spin on it right now is helping you out. But I think because of the energy I feel, I think a lot of you are there, where you're just like, I don't care anymore. Like, you lost a lot of that resistance. You don't not care in a way where you're just like, I don't care, and you're just whatever. Like, you don't care about the blocks necessarily. You don't care about things that just don't matter anymore for the most part. Like, you don't care about things that aren't serving you. I mean, you have love and compassion for them, but you know where to focus your energy now. You know not to where to waste your time. You know where the abundance is. Even if a part of you is like, yeah, I want that, which I think a lot of that has been straightened out. I think a lot of that hold, like this that I say that always pops up in the Taurus readings, which here it is again, has been released. Like, a lot of things, I would say, just on my journey, within the last 2 to 3 months have really just been revealing, releasing, and just kind of where you have a little bit more clarity on things. And you just really, you just see what's important and you let go of what's not. And now, you know, you may be at a point where those blocks are lifted and it's like, go, Taurus, go. You are free now to go do this. And coming to a point where the only thing left that's now standing in your way is you. You know, it's not those same obstacles. It's not as much that lack of energy. It's not as much health. You know, if it is, you know, I don't know, but it may not be as bad as it was. Like, you're being released in a lot of ways. And almost getting, like, maybe even for the last month or two we've had it, but we just haven't seen it. It's like we were left in the pen and, like, just fell asleep in it. And, like, the door, which was never even closed, but let's just say for conversational sake, was left open. And we've been sitting there for 2 months, not even realizing the door was open. And, you know, now we are. And we're like, oh. Like, and now it's like the universe is like, somebody needs to kick Taurus and wake them up. Because we've given them long enough time to figure it out on themselves. And now it is. Now you're, like, going. And what's in the foundation is you have the Six of Pentacles. So, some of you, a lot of you might actually be creators or healers or some type of something in some way where you're wanting to give back, you know, with what you learned, or if you are kind of on like your mission or your path, that's part of what's inspiring you. I know for me, you know, it's one of the things I constantly have to remind myself to get out of my own is it's not always about me. And that's not to say I'm a very selfish person. It's just sometimes you can get caught up in your own woes or your own, how do I fix this? What do I do with this? And I have to remind myself, like, I have a path. I have a mission. And I was given the things I was for a reason. And people need help, you know? And this is what I signed up for. Like, and I know with me, like, there's a thing called like shaman illness. And if you're not doing it, it weighs on you. I know with me, if I'm not, like, it gets very dark. My body starts to hurt a lot. But anyways, let me pull a card on it and see. Tell me about the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, you're ready to, you have the Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. Or if you look in this Ten of Wands, well, here's the Queen of Pentacles. And then if you look in this Ten of Wands, you know, she's carrying up and going up this thing to this very spiritual looking place. And there's a squirrel right there, which squirrels are about gathering and making sure you have enough. And I think instead of this being a burden, which to some degree it is, it's taken on the responsibility and the burden. This is the Ten of Wands, but you're ready to work. Like that even give and take. I think a lot of this is that balance of it where it's like Tauruses for a while have had to learn to be in the receptive mode. And now they're being pushed after their rest, their break, their learning, their all that stuff. It's time to go, Tauruses. It's like how I had a video before where it was like, you know, rest, purge, and go or something. Well, it's time for the go. It's time to come to what You've meant to be calm with this Queen of Pentacles, to gather your stuff back up. Take all the stuff you've gathered and take it on like your spiritual path. Start this responsibility. I want to say burden, but not in a negative sense, like this responsibility. Because there's something you're supposed to do. Some of you it's going to be spiritual, some of it's not. I mean, I guess some people can watch tarot and not be spiritual, but it's like she's even like climbing up this, I don't know, mountain cliff thing, and she's almost there. Like she's almost done. She reaches there. And then when you get there, like this path is really going to help you. You have the Ten of Swords. It's putting something to rest mentally. It is saying goodbye to something too. Something that either didn't work out or something that it's just the end of its cycle. So maybe some of you are also releasing a burden of some sort for the star, for your healing. But either way, I think you're ready to start the give and take on it, and to start your path. To start working and going again. Like you've just been in the receptive mode too long. Some of you, it could be a relationship, and you're wanting, you know, I'm just going to speak, you know, what I'm guided to, and most of this I feel spiritual, but it could be because of a relationship. Maybe you're feeling really spiritual good because of a relationship or because of a job. So like I said, apply it as necessary, but there is some type of balance here, give and take, whether somebody gets a raise or somebody comes in that they've really wanted or they've worked really hard for and been very patient on. Maybe they don't know they're coming. But I think a lot of Tauruses, at least especially the ones that have been on the very, very spiritual path, that a lot of them I think are attracted to my channel, you're ready to go and start working again. Either that or your subconscious, your like inner soul is telling you that. In the recent past, yours had a lot of cards that came out. So they almost like tell a story. Do I want to show all these? You have the Five of Cups. You have the Wheel of Fortune. You have the Ace of Swords. You have the Death card. You have the Five of Wands. You have the Eight of Swords. You have the King of Wands. And you have the Seven of Cups. So when I look at this, what it really tells me is you started from a place, you know, in the past or recent past or whatever, of starting really sad, of loss, of regret. Sorry. Or remorse. A lot of that changed. Like the wheel started to, it was time, basically. I don't know if your karma was done. Divine timing. It was time to change though. And the wheel changed. And you had some type of realization. Realization, thought, communication, whatever, that really put an end to that cycle with the Death card. That realization, communication, or thought, whatever, it was creating change. And I feel like it was about something that was very either, maybe had competition. It was very competitive. Maybe it was spiritually with this 5 of Wands, like spiritually competitive or competition. But either way, it left you in this state. The 8 of Swords. Like, you put an end to that. To either the thoughts, the people, the environment, the job, the action, the family member, whatever it is that had you in that state, or that kept you in that state, to make you now go, the King of Wands, take action, be more inspired, be more confident, to take the change and transform. That will bring you away from confusion. See how he's facing away from the away from confusion, away from delusion. But also a lot of times lately, this 7 of Cups has been coming up for me as a way of people looking at all their cups and saying, how with all these cups I have, all these options, and this is really one of the ways, not only Taurus, but in my opinion, people, but especially earth signs, really work. I think Tauruses are even stronger at this, though. They take what they have out of their toolbox, and they're like, what can I create out of this? So I also see the 7 of Cups as that. I know it's emotional, but, what can I create that I would enjoy or feel aligned with or bring emotional satisfaction or just whatever? And like I said, I think it's put you in this manifesting abundant kind of creative mood or energy. Let me try to tap into this Ace of Swords. I mean, it's a general reading. I'm not going to be able to tell for everybody, but let's just see what it says about this Ace of Swords and maybe see what was it that came in that changed this or changes this. Can you tell me about this Ace of Swords? So, you have the Chariot, which just has battle wagon. So, I mean, some of you might have moved on and created this tower yourself. Some of you, there might have actually literally been some type of battle or somebody coming in that wanted something or someone or something that pushed you out of this spot, out of your comfort zone, whether because they wanted something from you or not. But either way, something pushed you out of it. You have the Tower, the Chariot, the Tower, the Moon, and the Empress. And then kind of what fell out just now over the Tower was the 10 of Swords. Maybe something just aligned in you and came together with you with this Chariot, because a lot of times the Chariot too for me is like, it's not just victory and moving in the same direction, but it's like you're now more mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and all that more on the same path or the same alignment now. When a lot of us first started this journey, especially when you had like your awakening or just at some point in time, what you said, what you wanted, what you did were not the same thing. And to some degree still aren't. To some degree you could still be working through that, but you're starting to get this alignment now where, and I don't know if it's just the energies from all what's going on planetary wise, or if it's just something within you, like, Taurus is within their own timing. You have the Wheel of Fortune. So it could be karmic timing or divine timing, or it could just be Taurus's timing. But it's just time. It was time to come out of this moon energy, that, shadow energy. Not that you can't go back and forth. You now see you can go back and forth. You have earned your wings, or you have earned the key to the door. It's almost like, good job, Taurus. Good job. Like, you were stuck in there for a little while, And now you've earned that key to where when you need to, you can go back in there, but when you want to, you could come out. Because you've gained a lot of the stuff you've had to learn from it to know when you need to be there and stay there, even if it's uncomfortable, and when it's time to come back out. And because of the fact that you're now coming more in alignment, like you see things where you're not going to be as self-destructive or as self-destructive because you're now more in alignment. It's almost like this came in, whatever this is, this tower, to put an end to that old way of thinking, you know, while you're sitting here within your moon. To bring you alignment and abundance, which is exactly why, like, you know, the Earth Mother or the Empress is sitting here. What was the tower? Can you tell me about the tower? The tower, I don't even know if it was some externally. It could be a Virgo, but the Emperor comes up, or the Holly King. It was from you going within. I think this was more an internal and mental tower. This was an epiphany, or a realization, or a download, or something that either you were now ready for. It was Taurus timing. I mean, that's a real thing. That's why they say, you know, we're stubborn or procrastinators. But or it was literally dropped because it was divine timing. Like it was ready for Taurus. And it brought you this clarity and this confidence and this level of mental thinking that you needed in order to put an end to this conflicting and blocking and trapping behavior. And you're now confident because of everything you just went through, and you now know what you want. You're now more in alignment. You're not as conflicted, and you're just ready to create. Like, you're ready to, like, be a Taurus again, but a new Taurus, an evolved Taurus. Like, you're just ready to go and show the world that evolved Taurus and all the things you've learned, and, you know, help and do, and to be honest with you, shine. And that's another reason why I think you have so much of the sun here. Like, Tauruses have never really shown, whatever. They've always just worked really hard, but always in the background. You know what I mean? Like, they never... Oh, it's funny. Maybe they'll utilize the Leo energy. Or is that... Well, it'll be Cancer and Leo. Anyways. They've never really been somebody who's like, I have to be seen. I have to do this. They just work and do and create. Work and do and create. And now it's like at a point where you're like, you're feeling yourself so much. Where you're like, I don't have to be in this, you know, limelight. I don't know. I can't think of words today, but I don't have to be the center of attention, but golly gee, if it happens, I'm sure not going to be bashful. I'm going to shine. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to hold myself back and be the reason that I'm the reason of this energy anymore. Because really, actually, that's probably what the hell you realized is when this came in. Holy crap, it's because of me that I'm in this energy. And you saw how, you saw why, and you had enough. Enough is enough. I'm ready to shine. It's like that, you know, you hold a Taurus back long enough and they're going to get so pissed off, they're going to come out not caring. And I'm not saying not caring like they're an idiot. Maybe. But all those things that spiritually conflicted you and blocked your mind, those false ways of thinking, those illusions, those fears, those things that didn't even matter, You don't care about them. And that's honestly somebody who's evolved too. When you really are evolving creative wise, I mean, that's one of the blocks that you got to get through as you're evolving, and just get to the point like you literally don't care. You are so in alignment and so creative and passion driven that your passion means so much more to you than anything anybody else could say, do, or think. And that's okay. That's their journey. But at the same time, they don't know what you know. They're not you. They can't do you. They can't create you. You can. And for a while, I think that hindered Tauruses. And it really hindered their inner child and their creative thinking. And they just went with the slow, the flow and checking the boxes and the mundane and the ordinary, like kind of like the traditional of what the Hierophant normally is. And now with this Uranus and Taurus energy, we're like, what? No, I don't care about being normal. I mean, it's like, we'll be normal if we have to, but we don't care about rising and shining. We don't care about being different. And we don't care what anybody has to say about that. Just because you don't understand doesn't mean it's my reality. That's your reality. You go have fun with that over there. This is mine, and this is what I'm doing. Because the last time I checked, when I put too much care into other people's reality, I was really unhappy. And it led me to all of this that I just went through. You've already been down that route. You're taking a new route, which is crazy for a Taurus. I mean, really, it's beautiful, but it's very evolved, and I think that's why Tauruses were really held back. This makes me want to cry. Because they wanted to make sure oh, fuck. Sorry. Shouldn't have said that. They wanted to make sure Tauruses didn't turn back and go down the old route. Because there's so much more ahead. And this route ahead, if they take it, they will shine. The old route, they didn't shine. They've already been down that route. That route where they cared too much what people thought, what people did, what they said. Are people going to like this? Are they going to agree? Is it going to work? Is it going to this? All those, have you guys noticed this? Because I certainly have. This is something I've realized of, especially, I had to do a little soul searching in the last month or two myself, and I've pulled away a little bit, but on my negative thinking. And it's become very apparent to me, that I could hear it in the doubts and the fears and the whys and the this, and I'm just like, oh, ew, what the heck? I'm so much more aware of it now than ever. And it almost, I don't want to say it makes me mad, but it aggravates me. It almost actually wants to make me prove that part of myself wrong. Almost like I'm in competition with that part of myself in a loving way. Maybe that's what this is too, competition. So to where it's either putting an end to the competition within you, or maybe making a healthier version of it. But one where you love yourself in the process, you're doing it lovingly, and you're doing it in a way where you're like, I wonder, what can I create? What can I make my body do? What levels can I get to? What can I do? What options can I make for myself? These don't just have to be options that are available to you. These can be options that you create for yourself. Manifestation. Alchemy. Hopefully through this journey, you guys have learned this. I wish this camera was down a little bit. And you're ready to do it. I even had this thought one time, I might still do it, where I right in front of me, in front of my desk right here, where I put literally, I put on it warning, Do not let this person come and stop you or sabotage you. And it like put a picture of myself. Because once you can learn, like, you are your greatest opponent. So once you can learn to love yourself as your opponent, to see it, to observe it, but to rise above in a conscious way and not let it stop you because you stay aware of your goals. Nothing can stop you. Nothing outside of, you know, possibly not even health if you tap into healing energies and all that. I know I tapped in a lot of crazy stuff. I actually want to do a couple videos on that, some things that I've never experienced before within myself, and it was amazingly beautiful. So I will do videos on those. But nobody can stop you. Only like your higher self, the divine, your physical body, whatever. And even then, that's a little questionable as far as your physical body, because when you could tap into like healing and manifesting energies and really align within yourself, in my experience, not everybody may not feel this, but you start to learn and feel to tap into those healing energies. I've done it a couple times. I have never done it to this point yet where I've intentionally done it. It's always been by accident. And it's crazy. So I don't know if I'm being assisted with it. I don't know if I'm just not ready for that yet. Like, I have to prove myself and work and show a level of responsibility and dedication and all of that before I'm ready, maybe, for that type of power. And in order to do that, I have to get going. And I have to start to go and work and take everything I've learned and know that I don't necessarily know, but I'm guided. But in your crowning is the sun. That's what you're thinking, is that you're heading towards that sun, that happiness, that enlightenment, that warmth, that homecoming, that confidence, that creation. The movement. The sun is a very masculine energy. You want to start moving and creating in whatever way. In your likely future, you have the Page of Pentacles and you have the Eight of Cups. So this is that new journey. Like, you decide what to do, walking through it. And you do, like, it's like here, it's almost like I get with this, like this almost has the moon vibe. And again, looks like you have the sun and the moon there. And it could be a person or a job, whatever, that you're walking away from. But like this has the same vibe to me. And they're both about feelings and emotions and all of that. You're choosing to walk through this door towards the sun. Like, you can even see the difference in the color of the cards. And you're choosing to walk out of this darkness, these emotions. I don't say darkness in a bad way, but because you now see that you had the key all along. I mean, really, it was through your download or epiphany that gave it to you, but you had to wait and you had to prove and you had to tap into that part of yourself in order to manifest that key, which was an idea and being ready and evolving and changing. You're ready to go on this new journey, basically, and to walk out of that energy, the moon energy, all that feels subconscious. You're ready to go find, that cup that bring you to the Nine of Cups, that personal satisfaction. I mean, really, honestly, I feel like on one hand, you are going towards it to find it. I think it's just trying to prove a point here too. But I feel like in a lot of ways, Tauruses really have either already found that ninth cup. You will still find it again, but just the fact that, I hope you get what I'm saying. Just the fact that you have found peace in this, that you have found its benefits, you have found it and realized that it's your ally, that it's actually supposed to be like this. Your whole life, you tried to just, life should be like this. And then life came and was like, no, Taurus, you're wrong. And to show that to you, we're going to stick you in this. And now you're at a point where you're more balanced. You see them both. You see the value and the benefit and the need, the necessity in them both. Which is why in the future, I mean, you know, yellow and blue, in the future, you have yellow and blue. You realize this balance. And you're not running from it. So you're just going to recreate, and you are going to step out of this. You're like, all right, I'm done with this for a little while. But you now know, like I said, you have the key to go in and out as needed. So I think because of that, I think you already, in a way, already have that ninth cup. Like, to me, the Nine of Cups is an emotional satisfaction of you know, mostly of if singleness. You know, I'm not single, but you don't have to be single, but like just in your own. And I do think there's a certain leveling up you're going to do again. Like you are going to find the technical Nine of Cups. I hope you get what I'm saying. But it's almost just going to be like a reiterated type of thing. And you're just going to be like, oh yeah, that's right. Like, and you just keep going and building. Like I feel like for the most part, we already have the Nine of Cups. Just because of the fact that a lot of us are at peace, or we know the Nine of Cups is just now in reach. And we just have to go get it. Either one. Whether you've already have it and you already have that personal satisfaction and peace. Or you just now know how to get it and you want to go take the action and do what it is to go get it now. Which is probably a lot what it is too here. You now see what it is, how to get it, and to go about it. And you have the energy and the enthusiasm and you're ready. You're ready. How you see yourself. So, you have the Queen of Pentacles. You have the Lovers. You have the Hierophant. You have the Ten of Swords, which I have to say is highly important in this reading. It comes up over and over and over again. Even when I don't show it, it's sitting at the bottom of the deck many times. And the Justice. So, I mean, this is a crazy awesome combination here. You see yourself. This is, but mostly was you. And you went through a level of alignment, decisions, guidance. I mostly get integration from this. Make this about relationship if you guys want to. Like I said, apply it to your life as necessary. This energy to me feels internal. And yes, there could be external things affecting it. But I am going to speak from my soul internally right now. Because this is exactly what it feels like. This is internal alignment. Like I said I picked it up, but the Chariot. And now, because you were here, whatever, read it this way. Does that make it easier? I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Because you were here, and then you went through this level of alignment, guidance, choices, all of this stuff, spiritual thing, you're now sitting here as the Hierophant. You've leveled up. You're now ready to go start either on your spiritual work or you have knowledge. You have something to go forth with. So instead of just being abundant over here and being able to create like a Queen of Pentacles, you're It's like, I almost get with this Hierophant, like they either realize about their guides or they've allowed their higher self to drop into their body. And that might be too, that might be too what a lot of this is like, you know, I know it's an angel, but it's aligning the masculine and the feminine part of yourself, which is where you also have here the sun and the moon, masculine and feminine. So this is the two parts of yourself, but it's also your higher self dropping into your body. And now you're the Hierophant. Like, what? And now you have this, I mean, you're still going to be evolving. Don't take that to extremes. I get it's always happening. It's always guiding. But you have allowed your higher self to now drop within you and to align with it. Instead of you just being and creating in the 3D world and you being in your own egos, your own desires, your own old thought patterns, you have allowed the divine to come in and align and integrate with you. You've allowed it. It does hurt really bad when you don't. But you have allowed it. And not only have you allowed it, you see the benefit in it. And you see how it did know better than you. And it was trying to do its best for you. But you had to sit in your own timing and do it, realize it, see it, and all that. And now you know. You'll still always learn, but now you know. And now you want to take this and do something with it. Whether it's helping other people, whether it's teaching, whether it's going on your own path, whatever. It could be a police officer. It could be a nurse. It could be whatever. But you're now aligned. Not only mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and all that other stuff, what you say, what you do, what you think, but you and your higher self are buddies now. Your will is more aligned to your higher self's will, which put an end to this old way of thinking that was not hurting you or was hurting you, and, you know, has created justice. Either whether this was karma, a karmic lesson, it's setting you right. It's balancing things out. You now know, you now have this thought, you now have this balance, and you're now sitting here able to teach, to judge, to show others. You can say, you know, have the veil if you want. You could take the veil down, put the veil up. You now see that you could go between worlds. This very much, both of these are about, like this, the Hierophant, they can go between two worlds. Spiritual and physical. The Justice, they can go between two. This veil, just like the High Priestess, is blocking things that aren't seen. It's the unseen. You have everything here about the balance of the seen and the unseen. The seen and the unseen. The Ace of Swords and Death, seen and unseen. Like, look at, it's crazy. Like, I mean, a lot of them, just the duality, like seen, unseen. Ace of Swords, Death, seen, unseen. Scorpio's about the unseen. Five of Pentacles, seen, unseen. Her eyes are blindfolded, unseen. King of Wands, he sees. Seven of Cups, unseen. Illusion. Everything here is about, and then you got balance in your foundation. Six of Pentacles. And you have learned how to navigate between these worlds. And you're at the beginning of it, like how you have the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Swords on the bottom of the deck. You now know how to navigate these worlds. And it creates a level of independence in you, a level of stability that has never been there before. In your environment, you have the Six of Swords, which also has come up a few times. Mentally moving forward, like things at least mentally are getting easier for you because you realize something, along with the Death card, and has brought you to the Ten of Swords many times. Because of that, you're able to mentally move forward with clarity. How your environment views you, Ace of Wands. So somebody either views you as very sexy or sexual, or they want to have sex with you, or a new beginning. Like you are in this full creative, passionate new beginning. Like you are just excited. You want to go. You want to create. What's in your hopes? You have the Queen of Cups reversed. And I have to say, this, like in this deck, they're all upright. And this thing, literally, when I was like shuffling it, when it flipped, it was just like, whew. Like it didn't even go all over the place and come upside down. Like it straight up was like something came in and was like, nope, we want to reverse. It was crazy how it happened. Anyways, Queen of Cups reversed. So when I first looked at it, it was like, you know, to not focus so hard on stuff. I don't think you're going to focus as much on emotional stuff. Unless it's like creative from your heart. You may not also be focusing on somebody who is just very emotionally manipulative. Or hoping that they go out of the picture. But I mostly get that because she's super focused. Like you're like, I don't want to focus on that anymore. For one, I don't want to be that focused. Like that's an obsessive level of focused. For two, I don't want to focus on that. And you're not. Like, you don't want to. And then to clarify that, like, here's your sun again. And so here's the sun and the bird flying in there. And I get, like, when I look at the image on this, it's like, you now realize and appreciate the beauty of what's already around you. Like, instead of trying to focus on one thing, one aspect, one whatever, you're able to just flow and be and absorb in it all. Just kind of back to that Taurus, Venus energy of the beauty. I think you had to go in and deal with this. And it wasn't just that, but that was one of the biggest things you had to deal with, which I think in my June or July reading of last year, it was all about like this Queen of Cups, whether I was speaking it as you, but it could also be someone else, like Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But either way, this energy, I think, was one of the biggest things you really had to deal with when you were kind of stuck in here for a little while. And now you're realizing, like, okay, yeah, it's still there, so what? But you're now seeing the world. Like, you're seeing the light again. You're seeing the happiness again. Your focus is easing off of it, and there's a level of healing and just mental healthiness and boundaries and everything to where it's like, I don't really know what will come of that, but the level of focus and intensity that was coming up that made you have to deal with that, possibly even to where you couldn't even not think about it, was meant to be because it had to heal you and do something with your mind. It had to get it out of you because it was serving no one. Well, not no one. Maybe that person it was serving, but it wasn't serving you anymore. And it had to get out of you. And that's why your hopes is a release. It's out of you. And now you can enjoy the world again. You could focus on the beauty of the world and creating and just everything else that matters in this world. Your fears. So you have the 10 of Pentacles, the 5 of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the 2 of Cups. Your fear is that something that you've invested in a long time that was very mentally conflicting, very power struggle. It was all about games. Just who's going to win, who's going to this, who's going to outsmart who's going to this, blah, blah, blah. That they may come back in and offer love, an apology, something, and try to maybe reconnect. Maybe a lot of Tauruses are now at a point where they're like, good, thanks. You know, which I think probably is this Queen of Cups energy. The Queen of Cups reversed. I believe so. Your likely outcome is the King of Swords, the Two of Wands, and the King of Cups. So you decide, maybe somebody could come in, and I'm not totally getting that, but I think you decide to swiftly move forward and take action. And you literally decide to move forward. Like, here's this, hold you back. It's screwed down. And you decide to move forward in a new direction, something that gives you more options and more of the world. Maybe that's also why the King of Wands here in the Seven of Cups, like you move towards something that gives you more options. And you could move away from this Queen of Cups because you have the King of Cups, or you're just sitting here as the counterpart. You could also be more balanced emotionally. But some of you who were around this might decide to actually move forward away from it, which is why also in your likely future you have the Eight of Cups. You decide how to go on this new beginning, on something that can manifest for you. Some new path, whether it's school, creation, work, life, whatever. You actually make the decision to move forward. It could even be like not even away from or whatever to anything. It could be literally like, a lot of times people say the Two of Wands is like, it's like a doorway. And I think you've decided to take action and now take those actions and bust through that part of yourself that holds you back. And maybe that's why you have to take swift action like the Knight of Swords, is because in order to bust through that part of yourself, especially initially, you're going to have to come with some force. I mean, Tauruses are pretty resilient and strong. So, and it's yourself you're fighting against. Do it in a loving way, but this is the force you're going to come at with to make the decision to walk through this doorway to create this being you, like the King of Cups with a healthy balance. Some of you could be walking away from somebody though. Let's see what it shows about the King of Cups. Just for crafts and giggles. Tell me about the King of Cups. So it's the Page of Swords. So you do have the Page of Swords again, and then you have the Two of Swords. And whether you have a realization or not, this particular Two of Swords is very much about, oh, it's funny, as soon as I say that, here's the Two of Swords, and then right under the deck, you have the Two of Pentacles. So maybe you realizing you're either negotiating this within yourself or... Okay, that was really annoying me. You're either realizing you're negotiating within yourself about how to move forward and what to do, or you're negotiating or talking to somebody else about whether to either negotiate or whether to cut away. I think you have a balance, though, again, of the light and dark. Like, I think this King of Cups is really talking about the balance, really between the light and the dark, the knowing and the not knowing. You're more secure, you're more confident, you're more aligned and more together. And you can handle like the flows and the waves of life. You just basically have like that balance and that wisdom, that alignment. I think it's within you. Again, it could be outside of you, but so let's look at couple cards. So you have two cards for you that you have is you have beauty and you have success. And under the beauty you have fulfillment. So here's your 9th cup. You have love under that. Forbidden love. Summon. Maybe you understand now why some of the things you've wanted, maybe even a person, wasn't allowed to you. And why it was forbidden. Like you've been trying to bring it in for so long, but now you understand why it was forbidden, because it would have kept you trapped. You would have never been able to shine. You would have never been able to grow and expand with that person. You had to be loyal to yourself. They would have been loyal to you. They would have just fought all the time. I don't know if it'll ever be. I'm not going to say that. It doesn't really matter. But right now, like, I think you see why. And you realize it's better for yourself and your path and what you're going to just let go, maybe even find a level of happiness in the fact it was blocked from you. And you see the beauty in that. Like, maybe even you're grateful, like, thank above for not seeing it, because you found it. Like, you found this contract was successfully put together. It's a success. It happened, at least for right now, the way it was supposed to. And in the past, you received this message through meditation or going within. But you would have stayed fragmented. You would have stayed fragmented and not integrated. You would have never been able to expand and grow with that situation, that person, whatever. And now you have a level of forgiveness about the situation. I acknowledge that harboring resentments blocks the flow of love. Like, you realize that it actually, whatever it was, actually did happen the way it was supposed to happen. And now you have a level of understanding and forgiveness and healing to where you can now use your imagination to create. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. And then you have blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. And this is you being like, I've got to push past this part of myself. Because at this point, I'm healed. I'm getting better. Before, it was like there was a reason that was blocking me. There was like, it was like your own thoughts and ideas, but there was also something outside of you that was blocking you. Even though it was you. You get what I'm saying? Now it's like, no, it's just you. You've been giving the green light to go. And you're taking responsibility for that. You have empathy. I'm open to seeing both sides of a situation. And because of that, you got freedom. I possess the power and the freedom to create my own happiness. Freedom from doubt. When you change, you have the courage. Now you're soaring into joy. You're exceeding expectations. Childlike wonder fills my life. You're able to look deeper into things. Deep within me is a majestic radiance. So whether it's for creation, soul searching, whatever, you could tap into the light and dark, the shadow, whatever. You can go into the shadow to create. You can go into the shadow to self-reflect. Rising above, I only see beauty and grace. You see the beauty in it all. Let's see one more card. Let's just see what pops up with this. And then I'll pull an animal spirit card for you. I may actually pull a shaman card real quick too. It's weird. This actually went a lot faster than I thought it was going to. I think it's like a record. Like fastest Taurus reading. What card wants to come up for Taurus, June, July of 2019? So you have acceptance and having gratitude. I'm not going to read those because you have acceptance. And then you have these two I will, quest and miracle. Taurus readings a lot of times are like the most beautiful, like spiritual and just majestic readings. But you have quest and miracle. The quest you're on and the miracle of it all. Which is funny actually, because you have blue and yellow again. It's funny. You have so many of blue and yellow. So you like your throat and that's where I was feeling it too. That's funny too, because these are the chakra cards. And I was like, I feel it in my stomach and my throat. And you literally have your solar plexus and your throat. That's awesome. All right. So, quest. So, here's quest. When I am somewhere else, my life will have meaning. Miss Patriot, the oldest woman in the town of Blue, decides she is ready to set out across the deadly swamp and walk the Navy Trail that no one has dared to tread before. The wiser youngster points out that the swamp has vanished and the path she seeks is already before her. It's so funny. This like literally matches exactly with that you can now see the path. Anyways, the wise youngster points out that the swamp has vanished and the path she seeks is already before her. Mrs. Patriot sees that her life is not elsewhere, but it is in the here and now. Yeah, exactly like here where you're like, I didn't want to you don't want to focus on that. You want to enjoy just this, the beauty in everything. You have a new appreciation and gratitude for where you are, which then pushes you. It's like you had to learn that lesson to like spring you forward into like new things and new creation. But you had to learn how to be at peace here and to appreciate this first. Not to try to get out. I can't wait to get out. I can't whatever. Literally get you to the point where you're not like, fine, I'll just sit here. Or I have to go. You're just kind of like chilling and doing your thing, even in the darkness. And then it's like, once you could chill and do your thing, even in that, it's like, all right, Taurus is ready. Boop. There you go. As Mrs. Patriot travels home, the Navy Trail stretches out before her. Inspiration. You may be on a quest that is unnecessary. Allow yourself the space for self-discovery. We've already done that. It is time to take a risk. Where in my life do I need to walk my talk? You guys know where. Being open to wisdom. Imagine dangers. Commitment to your path. So meditation thing. Just a little exercise. Write down 5 truths about yourself. Look at the list and close your eyes. Imagine the Navy Trail stretched out before you. You may see images or hear a song or feel the sun on the path. Allow all sensations. When you are ready, open your eyes. Did you come to any new awareness about your truths? Miracle. Sun sparkler. They're literally about the sun. Integrity is what turns on the light. Darkville is a town of self-centered people. One day, Betty is given too much change after making a purchase, and she returns the extra money. A brilliant light bursts from the stump of a dead oak tree in the center of the town. The citizens are bewildered by the sudden brightness, but neither question the sun sparkler nor change their cheating ways. One day, a child asks it why it came. It tells her that it shines for all that is good in the world and appears when a good deed occurs. The residents of Darkville are touched and become more selfless. Do you let someone in, or do you pretend not to see them? You cannot shut out pain without shutting out pleasure. Kindness exists to lend magic to integrity. The essence of inspiration is integrity. Can I be counted on? Being a light lighting the way for others, coming miracles, integrity, gifts, reward. Meditation. Imagine a warm yellow light pouring down from the heavens. Stand directly under the vibrant light as it showers over you. Allow all material worries to melt away. Sun Sparkler will speak to you now. When you are finished, return to your normal consciousness and write down what you have heard. But I mostly get from this too, like, here's your quest. All this, for one, the quest you've already been on, it's already a miracle. And you probably see that and realize that it's exactly where you already are. It's not coming. You're in it. It's just getting better and better. But just great things are going to happen. You're on this quest. And this is very much a thing coming from women with the confidence. And it's going to be a self-expression for you. It's so funny that I said about the stomach and the throat chakra. And you're accepting it. Like, you are accepting and you have gratitude now for it. But keep an eye out too for those of you. I'm going to do videos on it soon. I might even do it today if I have time, about 2 experiences I've had. Like, one will be something like the first time I ever saw energy. And then the other one will be like some type of grounding, plant spirit medicine or grounding meditation or something, or my grounding experience. I think I'm going to talk about it first and then decide if I actually want to make a meditation out of it. I've never made a meditation, so I'll have to figure out how to do that. But I'm going to talk about my experience first, about like some type of crazy grounding, my experience on a grounding meditation, and then the first time I saw energy or something. But it might be beneficial for you to listen to those, especially the grounding one, because it might give you some ideas for yourself to help you during some hard times, or when you need to shift energy, or if you have a buildup of energy or something you need to get rid of. Let me do, so I will pull a shaman card. Oh, man. They weren't there, so it's like... Let's pull these and I'll see about my normal spirit, my animal spirit ones. This might give me enough of what I need. So I'll pull a shaman one. I want to pull one of the Rumi ones, the Rumi Oracle. It might be something that's good to hear. Message, Jeff. Taurus. One card, please. Only one card. These cards like stick together, so I really hope it only gives me like one card. Thank you. Not the corn. Oh no, it did give me 2. You know what? So you have Peacock. I'll show them to you. Vibrancy. You were born to shine and inspire. Practice humanity and avoid jealousy. Be grateful for life and more good things will come. Be true to yourself and recognize your brilliance. And then you have Coyote, revealer of truth. Don't take things too seriously. Make time to play. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. Which again, I think you've learned hopefully a good balance of this. You have for Taurus. June, July, 2019. No. So you have the circle, which is 8, which is a very divine number. also, I feel like things are coming full circle too, but unification, interconnectedness, and a sense of continuum in what this card implies. The circle reminds us we are all one, dancers in a unified, continuous, inclusive circle. This card reminds us of the cycles of life and the evolving self, ever changing and always connected. Human spirit, nature, the cosmos, all intrinsically connected. When the circle happens or appears, it reminds you that you are connected to everything and everyone, including to spirit. Spirit's essence beats in your heart and inspires you to co-create your world. Exactly. Knowing that you count, that you have purpose in this world. Imagine even a smile to a stranger can change the course of a life. When the circle invites you to dance in the sacred steps of life, know that your work, your love, your service brings greater value than you could know. Stay the course, keep dancing, all will be well. I feel like a lot of Tauruses have like a path of mission. And I think they're about to like really get going with it. Or already have or will. When the circle comes in as your medicine, you're meant to come to an understanding of the importance of decay and letting go. The importance of dying to an old form and being reborn anew. Exactly. Like you're literally accepting and deciding to let go of the old you, the old just ego grounded you. And you're allowing like your higher self to come in. The new you. If you are faced with the challenge of loss of or disappointment, remember this. In the circle of life, nothing is ever wasted. Love will seek itself again. Prosperity will come from a new idea or opportunity. And spirit will always wait for you to find your place in the dance again. And that's where I think also Tauruses have done a lot of evolving, because I think Scorpios also do have a hard time with it. A lot of people are like, no, they're great at death and rebirth. Yeah, they are. I think they just maybe let go a little easier, but they hold on to things. So I don't know. But one of the reasons I realized that Tauruses have a hard time changing, which is what Scorpio is all about, and what is Taurus is supposed to evolve to that side to become more whole themselves, like take on their Scorpio side, is that Taurus is a lot of times viewed change as loss. You know, especially since Tauruses were in a very lack mentality and everything, and they like to hold on to their stuff. There's so much sentimental value, and they just have a level of loyalty and wanting things to stay and grow. They really didn't see the benefit in the cycles. And because they tried to hold on so much, every time something changed, they lost something. There was grief. It was a perception problem. And I think now you have a better level of perception to where you can now not only respect and find the value in the shadow side and the ending, you know, cycles and beginnings and endings, and maybe even initiate it yourself, because Tauruses are about life. They're about creating. They bring that energy of life to something. But you can't have life in a way if you don't have death. And I think that Tauruses through this journey have gained a better balance and understanding of that. We're still always learning and evolving, but for a lot of us, we have definitely learned to embrace and evolve to our Scorpio other side. I mean, we're obviously not Scorpios, but we appreciate it now, and we're grateful for it now, and we see the benefit in it now. We see the necessity in it now. Then you have taming the wind. 55. So here's taming the wind. Here the feather, a symbol that is used in clearing ceremonies. For smudging reminds you of a sacred commitment you make to your life. Exactly. This path and mission. That's what I was saying. Like, you're aligning more to your, like, I don't know if this is what this means, but your higher self. Like, you're choosing to walk that path that you know you're signed up for. Because, for one, that's the only thing that's going to bring you this 9 of Cups right now, and even 10 of Cups. This other thing you were trying to make it out of, or other things in your life, you realize that's not where your abundance is. It's in honoring your path, your mission, and your commitment that you made. This is a symbol of consciously bringing the spiritual into the material. Exactly like I was saying. That's what we do. That's what a lot of people do. But Tauruses are the epitome of that. Bringing the spiritual into the material. 3D. Whether by creating, teaching, whatever. Infusing the world with reverence and acknowledgement of the higher planes of existence that influence and animate all life. Yep. The feather is a symbolic reminder of deliberately entering into a partnership with the Great Spirit. Yes! To co-create the highest good of life. That's exactly what I'm saying. Drops in. Connect. Like that Hierophant and the Lover's card. Where it was like the male, female, and then the... So you integrated first, and then you brought down in your higher self with the divine. It's time to clear your energy, be present, and become conscious of how you communicate. This is a good time to write in a journal and put your thoughts into a cohesive form. Perhaps you need to actually do a smudging ceremony in your home or office, creating a sacred space to write about your dreams and desires. Just remember that when taming the wind appears as a symbol, it's time to honor the Great Spirit with reverence and respect. You should have a little area, though, because I have to say, like, everywhere I can create it, but I love being in my office. My office... It just, I mean, of course I have my little things and everything like that, and I set up space and sacred space and all that, but I love the feeling in it. I feel at home in it, and it inspires me to create too. Like, I can go downstairs in my house and just be like, I don't want to do anything, blah, blah, blah. But as soon as I come in here, it's like, it's on. I don't know. That's why I wonder too. I'm like, why don't I sit in my office more sometimes? It's time to clean up any misunderstandings with others, clear the air after disagreements. So maybe that was something about either that, to either decide to cut away or to negotiate earlier. Maybe there was a misunderstanding that caused all of this, or an argument. And allow others to share their side of things. You are called now to be a good listener. This is not the time to be right. It's a time for you to understand rather than be understood. Good things come out of this restraint of tongue and pen. You will be surprised at how things get resolved when you allow for all sides to have value. And then you have, so here's what peacock looks like. Vibrancy. I already read that. And then coyote, revealer of truth. The peacock is the most iridescent of all birds. Their feathered cloak of blue, aqua, and gold, is worthy of royalty. Their boisterous cries hold both mockery and laughter, which comes from their regal self-confidence. Peacocks are blessed with clear vision that notices the smallest detail. Because of their ability to eat poisonous snakes, peacocks were used as protectors in ancient temples. If peacock appears, good luck will follow. The feathers of peacocks are symbols for protection, prosperity, and sensuality. They can be used in smoke rituals to cleanse and renew the aura. The peacock is a symbol for rebirth and new beginnings, like its cousin, the elusive phoenix. If peacock is your totem, or animal spirit guide, whatever, you have a colorful and vibrant personality that is sure to win admirers. You can praise yourself to great heights of brilliance in your field. Peacock people have the gift of observation and keen perception. Your inner vision brings you wisdom and foresight. You must guard against letting your vanity or pride get the better of you. The best peacocks are just their authentic selves. Your positivity and radiance helps lift others up to realize their own worth. You are crowned with beauty and grace. On the contrary, just things to ask yourself. Have you been hiding your inner beauty? Everybody should say yes. Have you lost sight of the value of others? Has vanity made you arrogant? Practice humility. And then you have coyote. Among Native American cultures, coyote has been called the trickster or the wise and foolish one. We have all been the fool, and we have all been tricked, but it's all part of life. We make mistakes, fall down, suffer bad choices, yet learn from them all. The person that can learn will thrive, survive, and thrive, which is exactly what we've been doing through all this. Coyote teaches us to play and celebrate life daily. Coyote asks us to laugh, especially at ourselves, and not take life too seriously. Coyote medicine is associated with youthful energy, childlike wisdom, and lifelong learning. Coyote people are asked to be students of life. And don't forget that too with that Hierophant. Like, you don't ever go into a role of not learning anymore. You always are learning, and then as you learn, you teach or you share. Coyote wisdom is seldom delivered directly, but comes from the long and winding road. Yes, we will fail, be fooled, and be deceived, and worse. We may fall down 7 times, but we'll get up 8 and win. If Coyote is your totem animal, you will be assured of success if you learn from mistakes and never give up. To laugh, adapt, transform, and thrive is the heart of Coyote medicine. Have you been taking life too seriously and lost your childlike joy? These are the questions just to consider and ask yourself. Check yourself. Have you been taking life too seriously and lost your childlike joy? Are you learning from your mistakes, or are you caught in the same old trap? Let me repeat these questions because these are important. Have you been taking life too seriously and lost your childlike joy? Are you learning from your mistakes, or are you caught in the same old trap? Is someone trying to deceive you? Don't be tricked. All right. Why do I have to have 2 of each card? I mean, these are a little bit, they're not really, really long, but I don't know. You guys can hang with me if you want to. There is somewhere you are meant to be, which I think is where we're heading to. It is here now in this moment. There is a gift right under your nose, a fragrant wine in your glass, gleaming red as the most precious rubies. Oh, so this is Whirling Goddess. To be here now, you must pass through the keyhole. That's funny, because I was talking about the keyhole with the key. But your head will tell you this is not possible unless the door is unlocked. This is funny. This is like exactly what I was saying in the reading. Those thoughts of doubt and who has the key and all that. Even though your body is passing through the keyhole of that locked door into the endless world beyond. Leave your mind to be in its struggles for a moment. Without you laying witness to it, your mind will become like the dog howling for its master's return, even as he steps out the front door. Frustrated temporarily, he will chew on some shoes, then fall asleep peacefully until his master returns. So leave your mind trusting, chewing a little, until you are truly through the keyhole when it can rest. Leave it be, instead come dance with me. This oracle brings you a message. You are at the point of growth where your mind can hold you back rather than urge you forward. If you have, like so many, used your mind to support you, to shore up your sense of self in the world and gain a sense of certainty about how the world works, then this is no easy leap. It will seem as though you are being asked to pass through the keyhole. Of course, your mind will stop and argue for all the reasons why the door should be opened instead of remaining closed, making the task seem so much harder than it needs to be. Of course, your mind will stop and argue for all the reasons why the door should be opened instead of remaining closed, making the task seem so much harder than it needs to be. But this is the mind in resistance. So this could go either way. You know, closing a door if you need to, or opening a door if you need to. Just think of it that way. Don't place too much stock in the claims that life should be other than it is. You are being asked to dance rather than understand, to take action. Give the thoughts to rest and to come alive. It is the bravest, most trusting soul that dares put the mind to go to one side and say, tonight we dance, my heart and I, in the great rousing music of the beloved beating heart, and I will not miss one step, and to awaken the next day and do it all over again and again and again. So consistency, don't give up. Break through these patterns and barriers. You are ready, you see, sweet soul dancer. You are ready to live beyond what you know, to have it not matter if you don't understand how life can work itself out, or how it could be that someone so normal and ordinary as you and I could also be so magnificent, wild, and divine. The need for answers and plans, assurances and explanations is passing out of your world now. You are not to wait for permission, for explanation, or for even another dance partner, for I am already inviting you onto the great dance floor. You are to let go of any stigma around not knowing. When someone asks what you are going to do next or how you are going to manage, you are given this divine mandate. With relish, reveal the truth. I don't know. Know nothing and dance, sweet soul, for all will unveil itself to you in perfect harmony and timing. Your heart shall create the steps in response to the music of the spheres, happening now, alive and spontaneous and free. Also, as you step, the stones to step on will appear. This oracle brings a special message. If there's an issue apparently unresolvable or unknowable in your life now, the divine is handling it. The divine is in the middle of it, working through the knot and unraveling it. Fear not. Do the sacred ritual and give yourself permission to take the night off from worry. Repeat this heavenly prescription daily as needed. So it has a sacred honoring ritual, which you say out loud. I give my heart permission to lead this dance. I give my mind some time off. No more worry or doubt, planning or resisting. Instead, I surrender. Instead, I open. Instead, I allow. And all unfolds with perfection, divine timing, and the miracle of grace. With Rumi as my sole witness, so be it. You have completed your honoring ritual. And then you have 1. So it says, I have abolished duality for myself. I have seen the two worlds as one. This is crazy, these 2 cards coming up. This is exactly what I've been talking about. I have seen the 2 worlds as one. One I seek, one I know, one I see, and one I call. You look for me, what do you see? You. Am I playing games with you, holding up a mirror for you to behold? God, yes. These are games of love and truth. Look for me and find yourself, for I am you and you are me, and together we are one, playing hide and seek in love's great playground. Oh my God. All right, well, this is the last one, so hang in there for those of you. It is very inspiring, though. Like molten gold, poured from the furnace of divine love into a one-of-a-kind mold, you are created uniquely and of divine essence. You are both the lover and the beloved. There is no aspect of your life separate from your spiritual journey, and there is no aspect of you that is not of divine origin. So then, why the frowning, the fear, or the questioning? Let me share a sublime secret with you. Let me whisper it into your heart now. There is nothing to fear. All is unfolding according to the divine genius, and there is a sweet shift in store for you. That's right, there is. No matter how dire circumstances may appear to be, or despairing you may feel, there is still an avenue through which fulfillment and resolution will be granted. This will happen. That is because the divine seeks wholeness of the one. That means anything and every part of existence, and that includes you and all aspects of your being in life, is claimed by the divine. Your return to the divine is demanded. Every part of you, every life circumstance. The divine keeps rigorous, flawless accounts. Therefore, nothing shall be left unaccounted for, not even that which seems to be outside divine attention and grace at this moment. You must remember that you are a living heart, the dweller at the center between heaven and earth, star and soil, light and dark. If you cannot summon the joy to rise up and meet the divine beloved, fear not. That cunning lover lies deep within the depths, waiting to gather you into sacred embrace as you descend into darkness, either through flying or falling. You shall be caught and tangled up in divine embrace, so fear not, cast aside worry and concern. Know that you are thoroughly itemized on the divine ledger, and not one moment of your struggle or suffering shall miss the hawk-like gaze of the ever-attentive and heavenly beloved. This oracle comes to you with a particular guidance. There is a friction or conflict within you or your life right now. A sense perhaps of being pulled in more than one direction and confusion because of this. You are questioning which path to take, this way or that. What if you choose this path and it turns out the other would have been better? But how can you know what choice, if any, is almost needed in your life? So many questions. The mind is scurrying. There is no other word for it. Backwards and forwards it goes, to and fro, trying to settle upon the truth. I love you too much to allow this to continue unchecked. Surrender it, give it up. The truth you seek is this: you shall be. You shall manifest your destiny just as the acorn grows into the oak tree. You cannot be other than what you are, and as you accept this, life responds. It breathes and relaxes around you, so what you need can come to you more easily. It finds you drawn to the need in you that is natural and inviting, and not a cause for anxiety or distress. The need leads to satiety. What is desired and what fulfills the desire is one. They are lovers that come to each other naturally, even through darkness and confusion, drawn to each other following the natural course of the universe to become one. So do not fret and fear, my beloved. Do not hold back from that which feels incomplete out of anxiety or distress. It is just the lover that will soon be joined by the beloved. You are recognizing the moment before this occurs, so fret not, and instead let that inner lover loose. Allow her to shake out her hair, put on the most sensuous perfume, and laugh as she dances barefoot in the fields of lush grass and fragrant flowers. Let her tempt her beloved to come close, because she can be seen, she can be heard. Her movements sense her scent through the air. She entices the yearning beloved to her. And soon enough they meet, and it becomes possible for, yet again, two to become one. And then there will be wild peace and ecstatic contentment within you. So this could be with a person, or just within yourself, or within, your guides or higher self. If there's any part of you struggling to surrender the conflict between old and new, between what has been and what needs to be, between passion and duty, creativity and rationality, between the role or identity, then know this: even the conflict serves. That's absolutely true. Don't choose either one and believe it is the answer. Sometimes the sacrifice is not one or the other, but the idea that it can be only one or the other. At another level, a level of divine resolution, there is beyond the apparent polarity and conflict a third way, the rising up to where there is only one perfection taking place constantly. Open your heart, you'll find the bridge to understanding and trusting in that perfection there. Where it has always been and will always be, don't worry, all is happening exactly as it should. This oracle brings you particular guidance. There's a resolution and a perfect coming together of elements in your life that might have seemed disparate or in conflict. Something you have been trying to integrate is so very nearly ready to click into place. That's what I'm saying. Perform the sacred honoring ritual and stay with your process. The coherence, the integration, the balance and coming together you seek is on the horizon, approaching you swiftly now. So here's the sacred honoring ritual if you want to know what that is. Place your hands at your heart and say out loud, Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, I gaze into my heart and you are there. I gaze into your heart and see my own face. We are one. This oneness is contagious. May it swiftly affect every aspect of my inner world so that my outer existence aligns gently with perfect harmony with the divine, the great divine beloved. You and I are one with the perfection of divinity unfolding now and always. Through grace and my own free will, so be it. When you are ready, place your hands in prayer position and bow your head in reverence and recognition to the one divine plan unfolding. Say, I surrender into the one truth of divine perfection, which includes my own divine destiny now. Through mercy and grace, so be it. When you are ready, simply close your eyes and bow your head again. Then you have completed your ritual. So the shift is already here, or it's coming soon. It's going to be different for everybody. I don't know if there's another one coming. I know I already feel the shift. So I'm going to leave it here. This is long enough. I love you guys. I hope this has really helped you. I'm excited for all of this. Remember, life is like this. So it's not always going to stay like this. Remember, you have now access to both worlds and you can come and go as you need to. Unless you regress, that is a responsibility that you have been granted access to be able to come and go as you please. It can be removed at any time. Just remember that. So stay vigilant, stay learning, stay humble. Stay flexible, but stay true to you. But always be willing to learn that the true to you is always evolving. I love you guys. I'll be seeing you soon. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. I put out different types of videos. If you're interested in either anything for donations, services, emails, anything like that, all the information is in the description box below. I love you guys. I'll be seeing you soon. I might be seeing you soon, and I'll be talking to you soon. Bye.